Hi guys, Simon, AskOE's Gold Coast. I'm going to run a video here about one of our most common questions, how to charge batteries and different types of batteries, the most common on the market as of today. So we'll start with this one here. This is a nickel metal hydride, okay? Quite an old battery now and not as popular, but they're still around and they're still in use. They're sold commonly with ready to run cars. We're going to go through the different styles of batteries and the charger, and this charger will charge this type of battery if you still have one of these, okay? So that's a nickel metal hydride. These are both lithium batteries. This one here is a 5000 milliamp, and if we look over here, it's a 7.4, 2S or 2 in series. So 5000 milliamp, 7.4, okay? This one here, this is also a lithium. This one's a 4000 milliamp, but it's an 11.1, okay? So this is a higher voltage battery than this one here, okay? So we'll look at our charger here. I'm going to set it up here. So we're on user set program. So all chargers, this is very common with a lot of these, have a battery type button or select over here. So we'll press this. I'm going to click through it. First one that comes up is lithium polymer, LiPo, which stands for lithium polymer. We'll press it again. Nickel metal hydride, nickel cadmium, very old battery. We don't see many of those around anymore. PB, this is a lead acid battery, 12 volt, so you can charge one of those with it. We'll keep clicking through. I'm going to go back to, we'll do nickel metal first. So it's on nickel metal. Here's our nickel metal battery. Now this one's a 2000 milliamp. Most nickel metals don't like to be hit too hard, so I usually go a little bit less. So we'll plug it in there. This is the Dean's connection. So we'll press start. Now, being that it's a 2000 milliamp, I'm going to do this one at 1.5. This is your increase button here, so we're just increasing. If you want to decrease it, you decrease it here. So we'll set it at 1.5. On nickel metals, I usually go a little bit less. If this was a 3000 milliamp, I'd probably go to about 2.5 amps. So we'll lock it in, it's ready to go. We'll set the charge. 1, 2, 3, and it's charging. So here's our charger. So it's at 1.5 amps we're charging it at. This is our time in seconds here. And on the right, this is the battery filling. Nickel metals, as I said, they like a slow charge to fill them up, and the battery will be quite warm when it's finished. Okay, so that's your nickel metal style battery. We'll stop that. We'll unhook it. Now, we're going to click through the menu again, and we're going to go back to a lithium battery. A lithium battery must always be done on LiPo. We're clicking through here. Going past it. LiPo. There we go. Press start. Now, LiPo charge, 5000 milliamps, 7.4 volts. So if we have a look at this battery here, this is a 5000, so it matches what's on the screen here. 5.0 stands for 5000, and 7.4, and it matches what's on the battery here. So I'm going to press the start and just show you the thing. So if we wanted more amperage, we just increase it up. With lithiums, always do it at the number provided. It's just the easiest way to do it. We'll set it at 5. Now we're going to press start again. Now, here's how lithiums work. A single cell lithium, one in series, is 3.7 volts. In basic mass, to get to a 7.4, 3.7 plus 3.7 is 7.4. If you had an 11.1 lithium, it's 3.7 again, brings you to 11.1. A 4 cell lithium, or 4 in series, is 14.8. And this charge will go up to 22.2 volts. In this case here, we need 7.4 volt, as listed on the battery. 7.4. Which is 2 in series. We'll lock it in there. So we're ready to go now. This particular battery, if you have a look at it, is a bullet style battery. So if you look here closely, it's got a P and a negative, okay? It's also got a balance port. You can get these hardwired, but this particular one is a bullet style. So we'll put the positive into the positive. We've actually marked it to make it clear that it's a positive terminal. And the negative here, we'll put it in, which is black, in there. Now for lithium charge, we just hook this lead up and this lead only. So we're going to hook it up into here, do a wiggle, and we go. Now we're in LiPo charge. Now we're ready to go, 5000 milliamps, 7.4 volt. To set the charge on lithium, hold the start button for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Now it's asking me 2 series, which means it's 2 times 3.7, so you always make sure it's correct to what the battery matches. And now it's asked confirm enter. We'll stop. We're going to confirm it because we know it's correct, and away it goes. Here's our time in seconds, and here's our battery filling on the right. We're charging at 5 amps. Lithiums charge very quickly, that's why they're so popular, and they deliver the best power. Now, up the top right here, when this battery is full, it'll be 8.40 volts. For a 7.4 volt battery, that is what it'll read, 8.40. The 5.0 here will drop off as it's nearly full. You'll see it go 4.9, 4.1, 3.2. It'll start dropping as the battery's nearly full, and this will read 8.40, okay? If you look on here, we've been on for 34 seconds, we're at 47 milliamps. They charge extremely quickly. It's why lithiums is all people want these days. They are the most powerful and best performing battery. Now I'm going to press stop. Now I'm going to go increase. This is lithium balance. Now I'm going to show you how this works. 5,000 milliamps, 7.4 volt. Let's have a look at our battery now. On this particular one, we need to hook up our little balance lead. So we'll hook that up into there like so. And this is our balance board, okay? Now have a look at this. It's got two little teeth to the top, but if you look underneath, there is none. Two little teeth to the top. And if you look in here, these are our ports. So I'll just go through them here. This port here, 7.4 volt, 11.1 volt, 14.8, 18.5, 22.2 volts, okay? So we need to go into the 7.4 volt, and we need to make sure that this faces up to the top. It does. So we just click it into there, like so. We're in. Ready to go. Hold the start button for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Once again, 2 series, so we need to confirm it. Confirm it. Now if we look over here, it says BAL. This is balance charge. So what we're doing now is we're balancing the cells of the battery, okay? Now by pressing the increase button once in charge, this one here, these here are the cells in the battery. Now this is a healthy lithium battery because both the cells are completely even. 3.86, 3.85, very even cells in this one, okay? There's only 2 cells showing because if we look over here, it's only a 7.42 in series battery. There is no other cells. If it was 11.1, it would read that up here. There'd be 3 cells open. Okay, now when the battery's full, both of these will read 4.20 when they're full. If we press this button here, this will read 8.4 when it's full. Half of 8.4 is 4.20. Press that. Now, when these battery cells are empty and it comes out of the car, depending on where your low voltage is set, you should expect around 3.2 to 3.3 volts per cell, depending on how the lithium low voltage cutoff is set on the car, okay, or whatever it's in. When the battery's in storage, here's a very important thing I found with lithiums, especially when they're new. All lithium batteries come new, generally between manufacturers between 3.80 and 3.85. Now that's an accepted storage charge. If you're not going to be using the batteries for a long time, it's critically important to put them between 3.80 and 3.85. If you leave them there, which would be roughly 45% of the battery's capacity, you could give them a long-term storage between 6 to 12 months without a problem. Remember that all lithium batteries, when they're new, come into the country at 3.80 to 3.85. That's because they could be sitting on the shelf for 6 to 12 months. So when not in use, make sure you get them between here. There's a few ways you can do this. I'm going to show you. On balance charge, you can simply just press this. Remember the cells will be down at 3.2 to 3.3 when flat. As soon as they hit 3.80 to 3.85, anywhere between there, just press stop. Then it's ready for storage, okay? Now there's another way you can do it. We'll press stop here, we'll click through here. We've got lithium storage. Some chargers will do it at 2 amps, this particular one does it at 1 amp. This will, if the battery was too flat, it'll bring it up. If it's too full, it'll bring it down. So storage is on most chargers. You can do it this way, or you can do it on the balances much quicker, okay? Now that is probably the most important thing. If you leave a lithium full long term, it'll puff up. It'll actually swell twice its size. We get a lot of customers through that do that by not looking after them, so you must put them storage charge with a little rubber band and a tag on the saying at storage, and keep them in a cool environment, okay? So that's very important with lithium storage. So we'll bring it back here. Now people say, what's the difference between LiPo charge and LiPo balance? Well, balance will spend more time evening up the cells at the end of the charge, okay? So I would say as a general rule, if you charge it 5 to 6 times on lithium charge, and every 6 charge, just click it over to balance. It'll take a little bit longer to charge. That'll even up your cells. And if you do that regularly, you're not going to have too many dramas. Just to remember, when storing them, they must be between that 3.80 and 3.85, okay? That pretty much wraps it up. The next thing I'd like to say is, when you're charging a lithium battery, as with all batteries, they're all flammable, but with a particular lithium battery, never ever charge it in a house near a wall, in a bedroom. Make sure it's on a concrete floor, somewhere safe. If there's a fire, you want it to be in a safe area. Now, you can get a flame-proof bag. Now, these are a great idea. We'd recommend them. You can put your batteries in when you're charging them, stuff like that. It will not completely stop a fire, but it'll retard a fire. But having said all of that, from my experience, the best thing you can do is make sure that you're on a concrete floor and be around when you're charging the batteries. That way, if there is a fire, you're there to deal with it, okay? And we're not saying it's going to happen, but we're saying that you need to be prepared for it, okay? You don't want to charge batteries unsupervised of any type. Even nickel and metals have been known to blow up and catch fire. Always be safe when charging your batteries. Always keep them in a safe spot. And yeah, I hope that gives you a good rundown of how to charge your batteries.